Geeks Assembled.
Hi, Geeks Assembled. It's Chase Masterson from Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Live long and prosper. And thanks for supporting the Pop Culture Hero Coalition. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and at our website, popcultureherocoalition.org. We're standing against bullying, and we'd appreciate your support.
Listen to record, Lee. Oh, we are recording. So now let's go over to Brian for his opinion on Jaws. Go ahead, Brian.
Well, what I thought of Jaws, I like the movie. I very Spielberg-y like. Just I think I thought it was kind of slow in some parts and a bit long within at some parts, but I did like the film. It was very, very good. I would mostly have, the only problem would have the film with is you don't really see the shark, like you don't really see Jaws that much. So, but other than that, I don't really mind the film. I would probably give the film like maybe a 7.
A 7 out of 10. So now let's cut it here soon. Hello there, yes, we are Geeks Assembled, and we have gathered here today, and we're going back to 1975. Don't go into the sea, because we're going to talk about Jaws. Yes, and let's start off in Hull with Lee. What is your opinion on this movie, Lee? Go ahead.
It's a damn fan movie. A blockbuster, summer blockbuster in 1975. One of Spielberg's best, I think. If this wasn't a success, I don't think he'd have carried on, because it was over budget when he was making this. I love it. Okay, yeah, it is slow in some places, but then it builds up until we get the three on the boat, Orca, going hunting the shack. That and the film sort of picks up. Those three on that boat, brilliant ensemble cast for me. You know, Richard Dreyfuss, Roy Scheider, and Robert Shaw. Robert Shaw was such a brilliant actor in his time as Quint. Brilliant. I don't think there hasn't been a movie made like this since. Okay, they made the sequels, but we don't go there. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
The cast. You ruined it. Let's start again. They had to mention the sequels.
Two was fine. The rest, yeah.
No, but
two's all right. Yeah.
What I was saying is that the suspense in the first one, and it's just brilliant because nobody had ever seen anything like this before 1975. Wow, a shark doing it. I mean, even the shark that they built the robotic shark and. Oh, it still stands up to date for me. And the Quint's death scene at the end, where he goes into the mouth of the shark, it's just one of the best movie death scenes for me, I think. So it's brilliant. It's closely to the book, apart from a few changes. But yeah, I like it. I haven't watched it for a while. I thoroughly enjoyed sitting down today and rewatching it. Do you want my score?
Yeah, go on. Go ahead. Give your score. Yep.
For me, because it just drags in a little here and there, I'm giving it a 9.
A 9. Thank you, Lee. And let's go over to Kevin, because he's dying to talk, because he's swiveling around there.
Well, this. Well, this was my first time viewing Jaws, and I've seen some bits like you're gonna need a bigger boat. That improvised line stands out to the most greatest quotes of movie history. Yeah, I liked what I saw, and Jaws was just creepy with the music and from John Williams. Before he did Star Wars, and I liked it. So Rob Schneider, how do you say it? Schneider.
Yeah.
he was just very good, and the rest of the cast also. It was horror, yeah. Sometimes horror, sometimes it was action for me. But I liked it, so I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10.
An 8.5. And let's go over to Susan and Alex. Go ahead, Susan and Alex. What do you think about Jaws? I caught you off guard there, didn't I? Alex.
Wake up, you lot. Come on. Jesus.
We're sleeping.
Yeah, no, I saw this in the theater, and it was great, even though I was very young. But I've seen it ever since. I mean, it came out in 75. It was a blockbuster. It set a lot of records. Only Star Wars beat it at the, in the same decade, pretty much. Yeah, it is good. We saw the Blu-ray version from 2000. I forgot a few scenes, but, it didn't detract. And, great acting, great dialogue. It's right there on the beach. It's right there filmed, in Martha's Vineyard and close to it in Massachusetts in the United States. And, Massachusetts is around an ocean, of course. And the Jaws is, it's good that you only see him in the last 10 minutes of the movie, and it's scary the way they open it. And, that's one of the reasons why I like it. And my mother read the book as well. And, it's not perfect, but again, it's from 75, and it's a little slower. And that's the way films were back then. And it's great because it's suspenseful. You got characters you care about. You got great dialogue. You got great scenes, like when Brody is throwing the chum out into the ocean, and Joss comes up to say hello, and then the face he gives, the the shock of it, and of course the catchphrase is, "We're going to need a bigger boat," and making fun of people that are college educated versus fishermen and all that. So they got that accurate too. And yeah, I'd give this movie a 9.5.
Thanks, Alex. I will. I enjoyed the movie when I saw it a long time ago, and I did have a VHS copy until recently, and it was quite a good movie. The animal that they caught originally, that was a big enough shark, but then they were showing the other shark, the great white, and it was as longer than the boat and huge, and I just had no idea that it was and to see it in a clear copy was really cool. To be honest, I loved the interaction between the Roy Schneider, the chief, and his kids and his wife. I thought that was really awesome because he wasn't completely able to focus on the job because of his family. And then it was amazing how the mayor was such a dinglebat.
The mayor was a dick.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Yeah, all right. He was a completely lost in space kind of guy, and it was just ridiculous to open the beaches and stuff like that. So I this is having watched it a long time ago, I just didn't realize how stupid a man that was. And then there was the whole thing with the interaction between Brody and Quince and then the chief, and that interaction was great, and the songs that they sang and the drinking they did, it was and the how they were eating below deck and stuff, and then in a teeny tiny little boat, they had all this room, it looked like, on the inside. It was very cool. And so I personally wouldn't give it a 10 or a 9. I'd give it like an 8 because it was a It was a good movie, but it wasn't like, my favorite of the 70s. But I agree with Alex about like the kind of production value that they put into it. And so, yeah, and the speed of the movie was fine for me. I mean, it was just fine. So really, that's all we got here.
And speaking of drink, that's a perfect segue to Graham in Scotland. Go ahead, Graham.
That's a perfect segue, thank you, Alan. Yeah, Jaws, 1975, the origin of the summer blockbuster. Much like last night's Doctor Who episode of Knock Knock, what you've got here is playing on somebody's fear, or the audience's fear, not necessarily by sight, but by sound. And that's what John Williams did with a score here. As the guys have alluded to, the big rubber mechanical shark doesn't actually show up until the last 10-15 minutes of the movie, a few cameo spots aside, which is fine. It's nicely paced, and it's all to do with the fear of what you can't see, and and the music and the soundtrack, and the score does a fantastic job here. Roy Schneider, Richard Dreyfuss, and of course Robert Shaw. Fantastic as your boat team of shark hunters, be it their attempts to reel in the little bastards with yellow barrels, or their drinking games below deck late at night. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Special shout out to Lauren Gray as Brody's long-suffering wife. She's gone somewhat crazy during this period. The kids and the family are somewhat affected, and if something like that hits the community of Amity Island, that's always going to be a bugbear and an intrusion on family life. The fella that plays the mayor, I'm sorry, the actor's name escapes me, but he was a complete and utter dick, and he done it to a sublime T.
Murray Hamilton.
Thank you, Beef Dad. Murray Hamilton. He was absolutely phenomenal in this, because he took the concept of profit over the lives of people on the island. So, fantastic stuff there. He was so good they even brought him back for the sequel. And he was still a dick. Go figure. But there you go. Jaws is one of these movies whereby it's no good on effects. It doesn't age well in terms of the state of the shark, but it's always holds a place in people's hearts when it comes to the suspense, the thrill, and the drama of the movie, based on the core human elements of the three principal cast members. And as Lee alluded to, Robert Shaw's death scene is one of the greatest death scenes in Hollywood, in my opinion. So Steven Spielberg done a great job of what he had to work with here, especially when you go behind the scenes and you realise the amount of times that the shark was malfunctioning, that they were over time, over budget, and it wasn't really looking good at one point. So to pull together the type of movie that they did have, I can't complain. It basically started a whole genre of, shall we say, Jaws is essentially the first movie franchise which basically started this whole sequel malarkey with the phrase 2 in it. So, albeit whereas the majority are in the concept that Jaws 2 probably was the high pinnacle of the thing, and the other two should have just been consigned to the dustbin. It started your sequel genre, it started your summer blockbuster, and for that reason alone, Jaws has its place in movie history. I'm giving it a solid 8.5. I love this movie, and show me the way to go home. Thank you.
Thank you, Graham. And now let's go to Germany with Beef Dad and see what Beef Dad has to say about Jaws.
I remember seeing it in the cinema when it was released. It was one of my favourite movies, and it still isn't one of my favourite movies. There are some memorable moments. As we say, the eating of Robert Shaw, who I knew really well from the amount of stuff he did on British television at the time. I mean, he was so popular as an actor on British television, basically because he was a damn good actor. The chemistry between him and Richard Dreyfuss was brilliant. And yeah, the drinking below decks, that one evening,
the one thing you've got to remember is Richard Dreyfuss has probably got one of the most catching laughs. And even though I'm not a mad fan of the film, at that point where Richard Dreyfuss starts laughing drunkenly down in the cabin, I was laughing along with him, because that is such an infectious laugh. It's crazy. It's also well known for the pulled focus. I think it was the first time it was used. The pulled focus on Roy Scheider when he was sitting on the beach, and a lot of people didn't understand how they got that camera effect when there was a big shock and everybody started screaming.
Yeah.
And they actually had a camera on a track which pulled away, but the focus was lengthened out. So it basically had a real zoom effect.
So Jeff, sorry to interrupt. Was that the one that zoomed in when the shark attacked on the banana boat?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That what they call that is pulled focus, and it was the first time it had been used in the film.
Okay. Yep.
And so that was well known, and of course the author, the writer of the film, doing his cameo.
Oh, Hitchcock.
Yeah. He played the guy, the interviewer from television. Yeah. But to be perfectly honest, one person there who tends to be ignored, and this is another one of the reasons why this film annoys me, is Mrs. Kintner, played by Lee Fierro.
Good point.
The mother of the child who was killed on the beach, and her performance was just absolutely amazing. It was brilliant. It was totally genuine.
Yeah.
And the woman conveyed grief in a brilliant way. But even those wonderful performances couldn't save it for me, because I just found it tedious. So for me, I suppose it gets 6.5.
That's not bad. That's not bad. You consider you didn't know it there. I mean, that's not bad. You know. I mean,
me and Lee have been having bets on what you would score it, Beef Dad. Lee thought you'd give it a 3.
Hang on. Sorry to interrupt. So Jeff, when you say it's not your, to coin the phrase, cup of tea, is it just you don't like these types of movies, or the story didn't sit well with you?
The story didn't sit well with me, and a lot of the execution of the story didn't sit well with me.
Okay, no one for suspense then. Oh well, there you go. So a bit of opinions, folks. You know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, all opinions are welcome. I mean, we don't all like the same thing, and that's what's great about these casts, isn't it? I mean, for me, I absolutely love this film. I watch this film nearly every single year. Nearly every single year. There's only been...
Do you watch it at Christmas, Howard?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
It's on telly all the time, isn't it? I mean,
hell yeah. ITV4, everywhere's showing it, you know. Yeah.
And like you say, Graham, for me, it's the music. It's you know, it's that music, because you don't need to see the shark much. In fact, it's better if you don't see the shark, because, you know, it's just rubber, isn't it?
Actually, had you saw the shark, it would have been a worse movie.
Yeah, exactly. If you saw the shark all the time, it'd be a worse movie. It really would. But it's the music, and it's what you don't see that is more suspenseful. Is that, yes, I'm saying that right, aren't I? Suspenseful, you know, and like when it takes people in the water and things like that. And every movie since this has tried to copy this, you know, every shark movie. There's I mean, look how many shark movies there are.
We're looking at you, Deep Blue Sea.
Exactly. Well, there's more than Deep Blue Sea. I mean, there's hundreds of the things. I mean, you've got zombie sharks now and stuff like that.
No, I wouldn't say they're trying to copy Jaws. They're just bad. Mega shark versus octopus and
Sharknado.
Yeah, Sharknado. Yeah, stuff like that. You know, how do you get 4 of them, eh?
No 5, the 4.
No, there's going to be 5, but that's okay.
Oh God.
This is definitely the best Jaws film. The second one is okay.
Yeah.
We'll leave it at that.
Yeah, but the other two, don't even watch them. Don't even watch them. I mean, especially the last one. Oh,
poor Michael Caine. Yeah.
Oh, I know. Oh. Talk about bad career choices.
And Mario Van Peebles. What the hell, man? What were they thinking? Jesus.
But yeah, I mean, there are so many great scenes, like when they're evacuated, they just run off the beach and things like that. And like Beef Dad said, I think the woman who loses her child, that's a great bit. And I just think, yeah, the acting's great. Everything about this film is great. I don't even have a bad thing to say about this film. I can't think of one thing. I just really enjoy it.
The one scene I forgot to mention was one of your, obviously, your so-called jump scare scenes, was the one where Hooper's underwater and he's looking for that, just to see for evidence of the thing, and the head falls out.
Yeah.
You know, and you're like, oh, there's a wee jump. That's not bad for 1975. That's a nice wee jump scare. So,
yeah, even though I know it's coming, it always makes me go, you know. But yeah, for me, it has to. Do you know what? I'm going to give it a 10.
Oh dear God!
Film. It's a classic. It's a classic, isn't it? That's why we're talking about it today. That's why it's repeated 6 times in the year, because it's an absolute classic.
And in response to your 10, Aled, I'm going to quote Quinn to Hooper by saying, "Hooper, son of a bitch." There you go.
And have any of us got any scars to share?
No one I can show on camera. Sorry. No.
Okay.
Let's not go there. That's a totally different type of cast, Graham.
Yeah.
Let's throw the floor open to whoever wants to say anything else.
I'm just saying that with where they're swapping scar stories, that is just a lovely little scene there. And putting each other's legs on each other's and saying, look at that one, and that was whatever it was. And
yeah,
that was just so. That scene there was just so well acted. It's one of those little gems of a scene that.
Yeah, and of course they'll take a drink to that too.
Yeah. I mean, Robert Shaw was a big drinker.
Yo-ho, bottle of rum.
I thought you were going to pour it into a glass then.
Nah,
he pours a little bit into the glass and then swigs the bottle.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey.
Yeah.
So no one got anything else to add?
I'm trying to think.
Any tidbits on production or anything like
somebody,
that?
I heard somebody gave the lady who played the lady that you were just talking about, the
widow. The mother?
One. Yeah.
That they gave her a hard time about her age, but I just think that was silliness, because she could have been like in her 30s.
Hang on. Is that legit, or is that rumor and innuendo caused by the internet?
It's a riff.
What are you trying to say about the internet, Graham?
The internet's full of whiny little bitches. If you don't believe me, look it up.
It was a riff. It wasn't an internet, but anyway, that's just what I just think that she did a really awesome job. Like Jeffrey said, it was just really amazing. She was well, or who said it? Who was talking about?
It was Jeff. Yeah.
Yeah. So you nailed it. Anyway.
Yeah.
She did an amazing job, and she wasn't too old. So
I've got a question, and you might know this, Graham. Are they still planning on remaking this film? Rebooting it?
I'm surprised they haven't before now, because it's Hollywood are just remake central right now. In fact, whenever the day get around to it, it'll be a completely CGI shark, and the acting will be fucking god awful. But excuse the language. But I'm surprised they've done it before now. This and Gremlins, I'm surprised haven't had the reboot treatment yet.
Yeah.
So,
But this is a film that really doesn't need it, and it's a film that didn't even need sequels. It should have been standalone.
to be fair, at the time, I didn't have an issue with Jaws 2. I still don't have an issue with Jaws 2. The only issue with Jaws 2 is you can tell they watered it down and toned it down because there was not one drop of blood.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's very true.
It wasn't gory like the same way.
Yeah.
The chum, I mean, even the chum in this one was like really bloody and really gross, and I mean it was amazing. They really did, and they used a lot of whatever that was to make the blood. They used a lot of it because they were in big swimming pools.
Chutney meat.
And the ocean. Yeah, good gravy.
Anybody else want to sing one of Quint's songs? Spanish ladies. Yeah. No, no.
Go ahead, Graham. You can sing us out, Graham. Well, you can sing us out. It's nearly Europe.
I'm the one for sea chanties.
Once Scotland becomes independent, you could be the Scottish entry to Eurovision.
If Scotland becomes independent, I'm moving to England.
It's not happening.
Just saying.
Honestly, it's not happening.
I'm just saying. I don't want to get political, but the minute that happens, I'm moving to the south.
Well, the other thing that was, very funny was how the Captain Quint and Hooper didn't get along. And then, what was it, like 20 seconds where Richard Dreyfuss is doing the salute and sticking out his tongue and all that.
Of course, we should mention the shark cage scene where, Hooper goes down into the depths of the sea, into the cage. And obviously one of the main differences is, in the book, Hooper gets devoured alive. Here, he survives. Not exactly sure why they opted to change that, especially because they didn't get Richard Dreyfuss back for the sequel. But there you go. They decided to change that and have a second survivor along with Roy Schneider's Chief Brody. So, whatever,
Maybe it was just a happier ending that way.
You're right. It might have been a test screening thing, like kind of similar to what they've done in the Little Shop of Horrors, and thought, "Oh, hang on, I don't like this. We better go back, reshoot and edit this thing." But yeah, well, there you go.
Anyone else have anything to add, or is that it? Beef time.
Oh, sorry, me. Yeah, I just think it's a beautifully shot movie. The underwater scenes. The film company took a hell of a risk with this young director, Steven Spielberg.
Yeah, who the hell was it? What did he turn to? He never made it to Halloween, did he?
They took a hell of a risk at giving this film to him to do. And, wow.
And didn't it pay off?
Yeah, it did. Because this was the start of his big career, wasn't it, really? This pushed him in the right direction.
Even the posters for this film.
I'll be right back. Keep talking. Sorry.
Yeah. Even the posters for this film, with the shark coming out of the water,
Yeah. Fuck you, no.
Anyway, yeah.
Oh, we have fun on these things.
We do have fun, yeah. Well, you either laugh or you cry, don't you, Susan?
Jeffrey's grumpy now.
Anybody else?
I want to go to bed.
Well, you're right. You're right.
Oh, and it went right to my head.
Let's Susan carry on. What was you going to say, Lee?
But I totally agree with you. The way it was promoted, the posters and everything, it did the job. And this was one of the, I'd say, fair, so loads of merchandise as well to go with it. I mean, there was even a kids' game, Jaws. I remember it because I had it.
Yes, it was, wasn't there? Yeah.
Well, you had to hook the things out the shark's mouth.
Well, isn't there a recent Jaws game?
I don't know, but
Kevin
I'm just saying.
Might know. Isn't there a recent Jaws game, Kevin?
Probably.
Yeah.
I would say it was well promoted, well with all the merchandise. It paid off in the end.
Well,
it's
I know.
It's a shame that the sequels went downhill.
shark lovers don't really like this film, do they? Because they say it portrays sharks in a bad light. You know, because sharks don't really act like Jaws.
Oh, only one shark.
You say when you come face to face with a shark, I bet you won't be saying that then.
The detractors need to realize that there was only one shark in this movie.
No, there's only one shark.
Needlessly, but there was only one shark.
And it was a rubber one.
And it was angry. And it was the only one, though. It wasn't like there was a school of sharks or a tornado of sharks or some other...
Let's not go there. Let's not go there again.
Something or other. So, anyway.
Yes. So has anybody else got any...
Oh, there's one scene as well what does make you cringe. Quint running his fingernails down the blackboard.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Yes.
Yes, anyway, that just... and on that bombshell.
Yes, on that bombshell, I think that's about it. Is it? No one got anything else to add? Graham's running over very quickly. What's he got to add? I've never seen you move so fast, Graham. I've never seen you move so fast, Graham.
What's that? Sorry.
Have you got any more to add? Otherwise, we're wrapping this up.
Have I got anything more to add? No. I get Jeff's point. If it's not your cup of tea, it's not your cup of tea. But in terms of a suspenseful, atmospheric thriller, it works for me. So, champion.
So that's it. That's your lot. I'd like to thank everybody here for joining me. I'd like to thank you for watching. Don't forget to tell us below what you think about Jaws. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Tell us below. Let us know. Hit that subscribe button. Look after yourself. Take care. And we will see you next time.
Ooh.